What's up everybody, it's Game 75 here to Terraplane. Would you like to run an idle cafe part 6? Alright, let's get started. I'm filled with the sudden sadistic urge to poke fun at Miyuki. Should I succumb to the devil on my shoulder? Yeah, it's alright Miyuki, don't worry. I'm not intangible to date you, so you don't need to be so standoffish. I'm fine being friends. Well, good. Miyuki retorts, pouting. Well, and this may just be my imagination. She doesn't seem all that happy with my reply. I have disappointed her, have I? Maybe my reply was a touch too callous. I doubt Miyuki is interested in me, but no girl wants to be told outright, I don't want to date you. If Ichigo were here, I'm sure she'd tell me to work on my tack. Oof, yeah. I don't want to date you either, or any guy for that matter. The only man I care about is Toyotomi Hideyoshi here. Toyotomi Hideyoshi? I frown. Is that the cat's name? Miyuki nods. You name him after the Sengoku warlord? Well, why not? I think it's a very dignified name. And Hideyoshi is a very dignified cat. The way he nuzzled his cheek against my palm is so cute. Right. I don't know if Toyotomi Hideyoshi was renowned for being cute, but I won't question it. Miyuki's naming sense is a bit off, but her love for cats is clearly unparalleled. I didn't know she was such a softy at heart. I grin. I feel like I've learned a lot about my colleagues today. I wonder if we've gotten even closer. A few days later. Damn it! I had a pretty rough morning when I arrived at work. It's with a limp. I woke up late and didn't have enough time to eat breakfast. Then I had to run to work, and in the process I slipped and skinned my knee. Oof. My pants are sticking to my leg, and each step I take makes me grit my teeth together. I haven't assessed the damage to myself just yet, but I can tell it's bleeding. This smarts. I'm not really looking forward to the prospect of spending a day on my feet taking orders and carrying dishes to and from the cafe to the kitchen. It's not like I can do my job though. I've only been here for a few weeks and I don't want to make a bad impression. I'm glad Miss Miyamori decided to hire me despite my unsavory past, and I want to show my appreciation by working hard. I've got to do my best, regardless. There's no time to fuss about my stupid old knee. I'll try to forget about it. That's my plan, but... Oh, yeah, good morning. Or should I say, bad morning. Why is this kind of a joke? Koo poos at me. When I enter the break room, her lips pursued. Are you alright? Why do you ask? You look like you're in pain. You're pulling a face and you're walking funny. Did you hurt yourself? Oh, no, I glanced to one side abashed and scratched my cheek with one finger. I don't want to make Koo or any of my colleagues for that matter worry. Sure, my knee does hurt, but it's not a big deal. It's only a stupid scrape. I'm an adult, and I can deal with it. It's fine, don't concern yourself with me. I'm sorry, but I cannot do that. If something is wrong, you should tell somebody. If not Miss Miyamori, then me. Working while well is big no-no. Won't you let me help you? It's alright, really. You don't need to worry. I'll be the judge of that. Oh, Koo. Koo plants her hands upon her hips, a Miyuki-like look of authority on her pretty face. Sit down, please take off your pants. I want to check something. Whoa, what? Whoa. I take a step back, my face burning red. I'm not taking off my pants, but you must. That is the only way I can ascertain what is wrong. Given your strange way of walking, I have narrowed the problem down to a few possible areas. You have either hurt your ankle, knee, or leg, or your cup. Gee, you don't beat around the bush, do you? I cut off Koo before she can say something embarrassing. Don't you have any shame? Koo shrugs her shoulders and responds with a sigh. I'm sorry, but you can't ask me to take off my pants. It doesn't seem appropriate. We don't have that kind of a relationship. What kind of relationship? You know, the kind of where intimidated, I guess. I understand. That's what Koo says, but I have my doubts. This is the girl who listens to ambient goat noises to relax after all. I don't think she has a firm grasp of what is normal and what isn't. In fact, She actively seems to repel normalcy. Then, before you take off your pants, we must foster an intimidation relationship that will solve everything. Do you want to be touched? Do you want me? Wait, do you want to touch me first? No, no, I don't. And don't say things like that. That's not a bad idea. Of course, I like to do things. What guy wouldn't? I mean, you're very cute, and there's no problem. Now, why don't you come here? Koo spreads her arms wide, rest your head against my bosom, and snuggle me to your heart's content. It's a nice invitation, but I'm afraid I'll have to decline. I don't know if I'm really in the mood. My knee still hurts. Look here. Look here, Koo. You're a nice girl, and I know you don't mean any ill, but you're taking this a bit too far. Are you even aware of what you're saying? I did not realize what I was saying anything wrong in particular. I only wish to help you. Is that wrong with me? I guess it's not, but I'd really rather not take my pants off in front of you. But if you do not do that, I cannot check to see where you are wounded. It's fine. I know where I'm wounded. Though wounded is a bit more of an overstatement. It's true my knee's bleeding a bunch, but I don't think it's particularly deep cut. You don't need to examine me. I just cut my knee. Koo frowns. It is as I thought. You will not be able to walk like that. Will you not let me tend to it? I can wipe your cut and bandage it. That should reduce the risk of infection. That's kind of you, but my shift starts in like in 5 minutes and I'm not changed yet. I'll only take 1, 2 at most if you squirm. Won't you let me help you? Ah, jeez. I hadn't wanted to tell anybody about my bloody knee for fear of causing alarm, but I guess it's too late for that now. Koo sharper than she looks, and she caught on to the truth in about 5 seconds flat. Now she knows about my injury. It'd be pointless to try and hide it from her further. I guess I've got to swallow my pride. Alright, fine. I'll let you look after it if you really, truly want to. Very good. A rare smile captures Koo lips. I knew you would see the sense. Eventually, maybe. Now, if you could, take off your pants. But I'm not going to pull my pants off, not in front of you. I see how unfortunate. The spirit told me I would see something exciting today, too. Oh, really? I wonder. Well, the spirits were wrong. I'm not about to show you any of my exciting parts. I'm a pure maiden at heart. I'll just roll my pants up. That should be enough, right? Yes, I suppose so. It is a pity. Now, why does she look so sad? Did she want to see me in the state of undressed that badly? Koo might not look it, but it seems like she's something of a pervert. But it will do for now. Please sit there and roll your leg of your pants up. I shall help you. I do as I instructed, while Koo takes a napkin and wets it in the sink. Oh. Koo then kneels before me, the frilly hem of her maiden uniform pulling around her thigh, and looks up at me. Given our positions, I have a bird's eye view of her cleavage. Her uniform is rather low cut, and it reveals an awful lot of Koo's milky skin. It's quite an appealing sight. Now, hold still. I'm going to clean you up. Yes, ma'am. Koo presses a damp napkin to my blooded knee, and I swallow. This feels pretty good, actually. It stings a bit, but Koo takes a great pains to be gentle. She doesn't push too hard, and she isn't too insistent. Her fingers brush against my skin, and I sigh. Ah. For some reason, my heart started to race. Why does it feel so intimidating? Koo's compromising position, coupled with the deft motions of her hands, is having a curious effect on my body. Koo pauses in her wipe to examine me. Her head tipped to one side. Are you alright, Naola? I'm fine. God, this name. Are you sure I'm not hurting you? Am I? You are making some strange noises. No, I was just thinking you're pretty good at taking care of people. I didn't expect it. Well, my mother is a nurse. She is a very compassionate person, and she taught me everything I know. I don't mind taking care of people. Wipe. But I would prefer it if you could take care of yourself. Yeah, sorry about this. I'll try to be more careful in the future. Please do. I do not like seeing others suffer. It perturbs me. Really now? That's surprise. That's a surprise. You tell such horrible fortunes all the time. I figured you were something of a sadist. No, I'm not. I don't take any pleasure in telling people bad news. If anything, it makes me feel guilty. I want to tell fortunes that bring smiles to people's faces, but that is not always possible. When people ask me for their fortunes, I feel obliged to be honest. Lies are wicked and wrong, even white lies. There is no point sparing somebody's feelings for the present, for them to be disappointed later on. We must be aware of potential suffering, so we can be better endure it. That is what I think in any case. In my own way, I am trying to help. Wipe. But nobody seems to appreciate it. Asuka always gets mad at me, and so do my classmates. Miyuki is the only person who understands me. Ku. My expression softens. I didn't understand Ku either when we first met, but I'm beginning to get a grip on her thought process. She isn't a bad person. If she was, she wouldn't be so concerned about my knee. No matter how grim her fortunes, she's just trying to aid others in her own strange, Ku-like way. How could I dislike her for that? Like, come on. I know we haven't known one another all that long, but I offer her a smile. I could try to understand you too, if you like. Would you? You would? Yeah, I'll give you a shot. From this day forward, Miyuki wouldn't be your only friend. I wouldn't mind being your friend too. Oh, this is gonna be good. So, Naoya. Yes, what is it? I've now been working at the Seaside Cafe for over a month, and I've developed a healthy rapport with Ku and Miyuki. We don't have much of a chance to chatter at work, but come break time, we usually engage in idle conversation in the break room. We don't have breaks at the same time, but it's fun when our schedules do line up. I've grown pretty fond of these girls, you know. Though I wish Ku would be a bit less brazen about stealing the best parts of my lunchbox for herself. She's not even trying to hide her thievery. She's chewing down my ginger chicken with nary a care in the world. I'm curious about something. Whoa. I wrap a protective arm around my lunchbox so as to deflect Ku's next swipe with her chopsticks and look at Miyuki's askance. What about, I was just wondering, you graduated from high school earlier this year, didn't you? Yeah, what about it? Then that will put you at the same age as Ku and me. We had graduated too. Thank goodness. Ku's a silent bequeaths my curiosity. I can't help but query her. Did you like school? Ku shakes her head. There were too many people. It jammed my spiritual receptors. I'm not sure what exactly Ku meant by that, but I don't really understand half the stuff that comes out of the girl's mouth. By this point, I've learned to roll with it. This might be a rude question, but I have been wondering this for some time now. You are not currently attending university, are you? You can't be working so many shifts at this cafe. You wouldn't have the time to attend classes. You've got me there. I grinned sheepishly. It's not like I was trying to keep this a secret, but it is embarrassing having it spelled out like that. Ichiko's a university student. She's trained to be a nurse, but I'm not. I took entrance exams, but I didn't pass them. I couldn't get into any universities I applied for. I still plan on going at some point, but I need to wait to retake my exams. I've got a lot of studying to do. I'm happy to hear that. Miyuki offers me a smile. Small smile, though. It seems you take your education seriously. As my school's former student council president, so she was a student council president in the past life? I know it. She has that vibe of what with her long dark hair and her pouty mouth and hair. And her. Oh, Miyuki's still talking. I am pleased to hear of your dedication. Still, I cannot help but be somewhat perturbed. It seems strange you would fail all your exams. I don't know how much about your schooling, but you do not seem particularly airheaded like Ku. Did something happen while you were taking your exams? I guess you could say that. It's a bit complicated, but I fell with a bad crowd of people when I was in my second year of high school. Is that so? It's quite a dark period of my life. It's not something I'd like to talk about now, but it's part of who I am. I wouldn't want to hide it from you, not if you're genuinely interested, so I'll come to clean. For a while, I was a real delinquent, bleached my hair blonde. I got to my nose pierced, and I used to ride about on a motorcycle at night. Stopped going to school, cut ties with all my old friends. I even got in trouble with the police. My grades were always average, nothing special, but nothing terrible. But they all totally nosedived because of that. That was probably inevitable. I didn't study at all. I couldn't see the point. I cleaned my act up a couple months before the uni entrance exams rolled around, but then it was too late. I've already ruined my chances. That was the worst part when it happened. I see. You found. So you were a delinquent. Somehow, that does not surprise me. I knew it. Koo pipes up chops with a loft, her voice in distance thanks to a mouthful of half-chewed ginger shake. Hey, that woman, was she? Helping herself to the contents of my lunchbox while I was telling Miyuki my backstory? She's eating almost all my chicken and my rolled egg omelets. How shameless can one girl be? You have a dangerous aura about you. The spirits warned me to keep my distance. I thought you might have been a member of the Yakuza. The Yakuza? Just thinking of Yakuza like a dragon right now. I'm so stunned by this accusation. I've got to school Koo about stealing all my ginger chicken. First, I need to correct this wild, incorrect assumption of hers. There's no way I'd ever join the Yakuza. I was just a petty thug. All I did was kick cans in the street and Jimmy vending machines. It was illegal, yeah, but I never killed anybody. And I'm very glad to hear it. If you had continued your wicked ways, then Koo reaches into her pocket and extricates a tarot card. Then she spins it about to my face, to face me. It is quite predictably death. I grimace. No way. Nah. No, thank you. I push Koo's hand aside. Don't put that evil on me. I have no interest in becoming a murderer. Not now, perhaps, but if you had not changed then, maybe. That's irrelevant. I have changed. I'm a good, law-abiding citizen who wouldn't do anything shady. You believe me, don't you, Miyuki? I wonder. Miyuki ponders one hand beneath her chin. Your past is quite the gritty one. If you were still a gang member, I wouldn't want nothing to do with you. Splitting skulls and smuggling drugs is bad enough. I never did any of those things. But skipping school? That is truly unforgivable. Miyuki slams the desk with her palm and her fingers splayed, like she's a student council right now at a cafe. I'm really quite upset you be so clever about your education given its immense importance, but I suppose you suffer for your mistakes and you are trying to make amends. I cannot fault you for that. We all make mistakes. This does explain why I felt so averse to you during our first meeting, however. I don't believe in judging people based on appearances, but there was something about your posture and manner of talking which put me on the edge. You give off quite a rough impression. I've tried to amend my ways, but I guess old habits die hard. Ha ha ha. I might have dyed my hair back to its natural color, but I guess I can't hide my past. I hope it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. It's fine, it is in the past, like you said. You've done nothing to make me think you might be a bad person. I'm still very appreciative that you came to rescue me when I was being harassed by that customer. He was taller than you, but you scared him away with only a few words and a sharp glare. You must have learned how to intimidate people during your days of being a delinquent. Nevertheless, powers can be useful for good and evil. You think I have powers? Definitely. Your aura is dark and threatening, but you don't threaten people weaker than yourself. You're just like Robin Hood. The guy from English folktale? Koo nods. I know a lot about folklore from all sorts of countries. I do a lot of reading. If only if you would read something useful for a change, like a math textbooks. Miyuki sighs and shakes her head. Koo and I are in a similar position to you. Neither of us are enrolled at university either, though our circumstances differ from yours. I also tried to get into a reputable university in Tokyo. I studied hard for the sake of my education. But then, on the week entrance exams rolled around, I got sick. I had such a bad cold. I couldn't sit any of the exams I crammed for so meticulously. By the time I recovered, it was too late. I had missed my window of opportunity. I had to defer my application to the following year, and I was left behind. Miyuki sighs. It is quite unfortunate. I've always placed a hefty emphasis on the importance of schooling. It is a shame my plans were ruined because of a silly cold. It was I was prepared to sit my exams despite my fever, but my parents wouldn't let me. They marched me back into my bed and made me sleep. Can you believe that? It's so irritating. There. Ku, who has been heard Miyuki's grievance, countless times pats her friend on the back. It is your fault. You were simply born unlucky. There is nothing to blame to say the positions of Mars, Venus, and the sky on the day of your birth. Your circumstances were not dissimilar to that of Anastasia's. You were born on the same day, but she was shot to death. You only missed your exams. If, in that sense, you are quite fortunate. Thanks. I think missing my exams is a bit better than being shot, I suppose. It is quite a lot better. I am happy for you. Ku offers Miyuki a peace sign. Now let's do our best to live a fulfilling life. I'm rooting for you. Yay! Darn! I whistled. I'm sorry to hear about that, Miyuki. It sounds like it must have been a big blow. Miyuki's a very serious person, and I like all serious people. She's incredibly hard on herself. She seems to regard her sickness as a personal failing rather than a piece of misfortune beyond her control. I bet she's been beating herself up over this for a while. Can't help but sympathize. I do wonder about Ku, though. Don't your parents want you to go to university? They do, and I will, in time. That is what fates have decreed. I shall one day ascend to the mythical realm of university. No, I don't think university is that magical. I wouldn't know since I'd never been there, but from what Ichigo told me, it sounds like a glorified, significantly more stressful reskin of high school. Oh, it sure is. That's where I'm going to this August. But I decided to abstain for the present. I wouldn't like to sit exams without Miyuki. We have been friends since we were children. I wouldn't hate to leave her behind. So you threw your exams on purpose to Miyuki's company? Ku nods. That is what friends do. We should stick together. While I appreciate your concern, I think it was unnecessary. You shouldn't hold yourself back for my sake. If I broke my leg, you wouldn't have to break your own. It's fine. I didn't want to sit my exams anyway, and I wouldn't have passed them if I had. Hey, I hate studying. That doesn't really make it better, you know. Miyuki harums cutely, her arms folded. I know you have a short attention span, Ku, but I do wish you pay a bit more attention in class. One of these days, it'll come back to you and bite you. I can worry about that later, when I have to take my entrance exams again. Until then, I don't want to think about studying. I want to work here with you, and I want to work here with you, too. This job is more fun than I thought it would be. I am enjoying myself, but studying is also important. All three of us are supposed to sit our entrance exams at the end of the year. We need to make sure we are prepared. That be the case. Miyuki looks between Ku and me, her eyes narrow. Why don't we all study together? What? Ku's response is deader than a doornail. Why would I want to do that? I would rather hold a science than study. I know that, but you need to start taking your future more seriously. Studying should be less boring if we do it together. And if I can fire it up, Naoya might be able to. You get along with him, don't you? I suppose. Naoya's aura is different to mine, but the spirits say we are compatible. I wouldn't mind spending more time together outside of work, and I want to ensure that all three of us get into higher education. As an ex-student council president, nothing makes me happier than putting things into order. Miyuki grins triumphantly. It's settled then? Let's all work hard together to achieve our dreams. If anybody can whip you into shape, I'm sure I can. Miyuki sounds so enthusiastic. I'm afraid she might mean that in literal sense. I have to double check just to make sure I'm not getting myself inadvertently involved in anything seedy. You aren't really going to whip us, are you? I might if you complain too much. It would be your benefit, though. I'm doing this because I want you to succeed, really. You should be able to thank me for taking an interest in your academic affairs. Aren't you glad about this turn of events? I don't know about that. Sink down in my chair, suddenly exhausted. This is all moving so fast. I barely had a chance to get acclimatized to my job and the coworkers, and now Miyuki's determined to mold me into a brand new me. I've never been that keen on studying myself, but one look at Miyuki tells me my own feelings are irrelevant. I've never seen her this fired up before. It's kind of cute, I guess, but it's disconcerting too. I hope she won't be too tough on me. I really don't want to be whipped. Later that evening. And that is the end of today's episode, everybody. So thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.